Hello everyone, welcome to another Bible journaling video. Today I want to show you the page I made for Tamar. If you want to know more about her, you can take a look at my blog where I describe a little bit more about her and tell some more details. In this video I want to show you how I made the page, and I prepared my page with clear gesso from Art Basics and I apply it with a foam brush. If you want to know more about the way I prepare my pages, you can take a look at another video I made where I show it in real time, so you can get a good image from it. After I prepared my page, I looked for a couple of stamps that I wanted to place on the page. And before I start stamping, I will lay them out on the page to see how they look and if they fit on the page and if I get a composition that I like. For this page I used stamps from Sweden Sassy Stamps. I will show a little bit more in the descriptions about the stamp sets that I used. I'm using a black waterproof ink to ink up my stamps, and because it's a clear stamp you can see if you inked it up really well or not. If the entire stamp is black, you can start stamping. You just press the block onto the page, add a little bit of pressure so you can get an even impression of the stamp, and then you lift up the acrylic block again. I use a baby wipe to clean the stamps, and because I'm using a waterproof black ink you will always see a little bit of a black shadow, but that doesn't change the quality of the stamp, so it doesn't bother me. And I'm doing the same for this other stamp, so I'm adding it to the acrylic block and I'm inking it up and I'm checking to see if everything is black, and then I'll add it to the page. And you can see where you're stamping because it's a clear stamp, so that's really easy. I'm adding some hand lettering to the page. I'm using a Micron pen, so it's a black fine liner and it's waterproof too, so you can use anything on top of it. You just have to be careful that it's really dry before you add other colors, or I'm going to use distress inks, because otherwise you will get some smudges. So it's best to write your stuff down and then wait a little bit to be sure that everything's dry. I'm not doing a really fancy lettering over here, I'm just using my handwriting in combination with a little bit of more script writing. And at first I'm just writing it down, and then I will add some thickness to some of the letters. I'm using a couple of distress inks to color the page. I will use a mini blender to bring on the colors, and you just add the blender to the ink cube and then you can add it to your page. Because I prepared this page with clear gesso, it's pretty easy to blend it. And I'm starting with the lightest color, this time that's the yellow color. You just add it to the page and you add a little bit of pressure, not too much, because otherwise you will wrinkle the page. And you just blend it out. I wanted to have a lighter color behind towards on top, and then I'm going to add some more color to the bottom. It's just adding a lot of layers to get the right color that you want, especially with the yellow color because it's very light. And when you add more layers you will get a little bit of a more intense color. I will repeat this process for the other colors too. So I will just add a light layer of the color and then I will add more layers to get a more intense color. And because you're adding a lot of layers, it makes the blending a bit easier. Because you just have to add a couple of more layers to make it blend more. So it's just a lot of layering for a great background. When I think I got colors right, I will add a little bit of a fixative spray. This one is water-based, so it will activate the colors too. And that makes the drying process a little bit faster, otherwise you'll have to wait a very long time before the ink dries on the gesso. I'll show you the back of my page. As you can see, it doesn't really bleed through. And that finishes the page for today. Thank you for watching.